Hey guys, welcome back to another week of e-commerce marketing chats with myself, Charles, and Jimmy. Jimmy, how's it going, mate? What's been going on?
Oh, good mate. Just another week of e-commerce. So yeah, it's a lot going on. I feel like this chat will probably lean towards the AI side again. So I had a group call yesterday for e-commerce, and we kind of really dived into understanding like what your recommended cost per click should be on any kind of paid ads platform. So I think just diving straight into it. I think the challenge that e-commerce coaches have is the attribution side of the different marketing channels. And when we talk about attribution, I just want to explain this because it gets confused a lot. When we talk about attribution, we're talking about what platforms claim they've had an impact on in the conversion. So where a lot of business owners get confused or stumped is they'll be looking at their reports from different agencies, and they might have done $1 million in sales on Google Ads and $1 million of sales on Meta, and they're looking at their Shopify backend and they've only done like 1.5 million in sales. So they're like, where's the other $500,000 gone? And this is where attribution comes into play, because you've got the same marketing platforms, the same advertising channels claiming the conversion that happens. So, for example, they may have seen a Meta ad in their feed, and then they've gone to Google to research that. And then they click through a Google ad to make that purchase. So you've got Google claiming the attribution for that purchase, and you've also got Meta. So when we're talking about kind of attribution and the crossover, that's what I'm talking about. And it's not just Google and Meta; it happens across all your different marketing channels. And it's a big I wouldn't say it's a problem for tracking. It's frustrating for business owners, but it's just how it is. There's multiple touch points now before someone converts. So you've got all these email marketing, you've got TikTok, you've got all these different things that are playing a role in the conversion. Um, so what I was trying to solve for the students is in the platform that they have to kind of monitor their numbers. We're trying to move away from like attribution from different channels. So the solution that I was looking at this week was coming up with a cost per click calculator, and then having them being able to, I guess, identify whether they're paying too much for their traffic or not. And this calculator uses three metrics. So it uses your average order value, it uses your conversion rate, and then it uses your profit margin. And then from those three numbers alone, it's able to tell you what your break even cost per acquisition is. If this is your average order value and you've got this percentage margin, this is what you can spend at a maximum cost per click at your current conversion rate to just break even. And then also what it does is it gives you a recommended cost per click with a kind of a 25% profit margin built into it. So, and what I'm finding is a lot of the students that run this, the students that have like a break even cost per click of a below $1 will really struggle to make Google work for them. Because $1 a click is the maximum that they can pay before they're losing money. Whereas I analyzed the stores that are doing really well, and they were up to like $3 to $5 that they were able to at a maximum. And I'm not saying they are, and a lot of them aren't. A lot of them are still bidding, or still the average cost per click is around $1 anyway, but they can go up to $3 to $5 if they needed to. But they're the ones that are super profitable and doing really well and have a lot of room for scale. So I think part of what I've been working on this week is trying to come up with other metrics and other data points that business owners can use that aren't reliant on, I guess, attribution of what channels are claiming. It's purely related on how much you're paying for in paid traffic and what you can afford to pay per click on your current conversion rate and your average order value. So I'll have to send you through that calculator, Charles. And the reason I was saying
Yeah,
I'd touch on
interesting.
AI is that I had this thought like the day before the group call, of this calculator that I could put together to show these numbers. Literally from start to finish in AI, about 12 minutes from developing the calculator to being up live on the website. So,
It's crazy, isn't it?
yeah, it's insane. So, um, yeah, handy little tool. I'll post it in the Facebook group after this call. So if you're wanting to check out that calculator just to see where your own numbers fall, check us out at Shopify Marketing Secrets on Facebook, and I'll post a link to this calculator in here. Just a free resource you can use to really dive into your traffic and to see whether you're paying too much or not, to see whether you're actually profitable on platforms. So yeah, that's kind of just to jump straight into it. That's what I've been working on over the last 2 days, and it's what I presented to a group of students today. So yeah, jump straight in the deep end. That's what's been happening on that side, or the coaching side of e-commerce. So yeah, it's been I'll post it in the chat, Charles, so you can have a quick look
Yeah.
at what I knocked up in literally the space of 12
Yeah, I
minutes.
think
But um
it's super important to know your numbers, isn't it? And like, you know, the more data that you can have on things and know, like I said, I mean, I wonder how many e-commerce stores are running paid ads and they have a clear picture of if they're actually profitable. You know, they might be spending all this money, but have no idea of, okay, are we, are we break even? Are we actually profitable? Even though we're running these ads, yes, we're bringing in revenue, but
yeah,
yeah,
I think
just
I
have
think
a
the return on ad spend is something that a lot of people look at, but again, that takes into account the attribution too. So that takes into account like your return on ad spend may be high because again, it's claiming the same conversions from different platforms. So if you're using ROAS, it's ROAS, like return on ad spend, it's an in-platform data point, whereas this is really taking your average store conversion rate. There's a couple of places you can take the data from. So because I had this question asked, when you're going by the conversion rate, you can either take it from your overall Shopify, you can take it from the Shopify marketing report and just choose the channel that has a specific conversion rate. The other thing you can do too is you can use it in platform for individual campaigns, because what you'll find is the numbers are going to be vastly different if you're running like a top of funnel like meta campaign that's attracting people that have never heard of your brand before versus a meta retargeting campaign from someone that's just visited your website but hasn't purchased yet. So the conversion rate is going to be a lot higher on that remarketing campaign versus the top of funnel campaign. So you can put in the metrics for even at a more granular level, each individual campaign. It's like, okay, this is what I can afford to spend for kind of top of funnel just to break even. Some people lose money on top of funnel, and that's not abnormal, especially if you can make it up on your lower funnel campaigns. But you do need to go out somewhere to attract new people to your brand, and it is typically it's more expensive than your lower hanging fruit.
yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. And what else have you been working on this week,
Charles,
Jimmy? You?
I was just about to say something I wanted to chat to you about, and hopefully you've looked into it. But since we've had the last call, Microsoft Bing has opened up AI references, or you can see can't see the actual. Well, actually, I'll let you explain it because I'm going to butcher it. So, do you want to jump into what Bing or Microsoft Ads, I should say, or Bing Webmaster or Microsoft Webmaster, whatever they're
Yes.
calling it now, the
Yeah. So
data that they've opened up now for business owners?
yeah. So basically, Bing Webmaster Tools has opened up an AI performance dashboard, which allows you to see, um, you know, AI search data or prompts that are coming from it's basically from Microsoft Copilot and some partners. There was a little bit of there was some information going around that it was for ChatGPT as well. That's incorrect. It's just for Microsoft Copilot. But I mean, it's Microsoft Copilot in terms of usage is not, it's not small. I think I can't remember off the top of my head how many like weekly users it has or daily users it has, but it's not a small amount. But equally, it's, you know, it's nowhere near as much as ChatGPT or even Gemini. But I think what it does do is it opens up, you know, available data that we just didn't have previously. Because at the moment, as you know, those in the SEO field or this kind of new AI search arena, in order to see what people are searching for on these AI tools, they're having to use third-party tools, which has been proven to be pretty wildly inaccurate with what's out there. There's some good tools, but equally, people have kind of started testing them out and doing manual prompt searches and figuring out actually these tools are, you know, they're not that accurate. So it gives us some data in terms of like overarching keyword prompts. I think, let me just pull it up while we're here, because I can't remember the terminology for what Bing Webmaster are using. But it's similar to how queries are showing up in Google Search Console for traditional search, but they're using I don't want to butcher the name of it. I did have a deep dive into this when it first came out, but
Yeah, I've had to play around with it too, and I think some of the information in there is actually useful. So,
yeah,
but I also think, and I think you mentioned it too somewhere, Charles, that I think this might open up the gateway to Google to follow suit, which I think everyone's
exactly.
hoping for.
No, for sure. I think, and I think also with OpenAI as well with ChatGPT. I think if, you know, they can provide some data as well. Although there's a lot of people suggesting that actually ChatGPT are just pulling through from Google. They're not really building their own index as such.
I was before you bring that up, Charles, I did hear about OpenAI, so it sounds like they're launching the beta ads in America for ads in the platform, but for the caveat, there is from what I heard, so I don't want anyone to quote this, so I'm saying do your own research, but from what I heard, there's a $200,000 upfront fee that you have to pay to be part of that beta program if you're a company. So
Interesting.
yeah, so that's what I heard. I did read that. I think it was on a LinkedIn post. So, and I haven't confirmed it. So I want to say take that piece of information at just face value. And but yeah, that's what I heard for the testers that are going on there. They're having to pay a pretty high upfront fee.
Just got it up here. I can't unfortunately share it on my screen because it's from a client, so some bit of sensitive information. But in terms of what they've got here, so they have an AI performance tab down the left hand side. I believe it's only available for US sites at the moment. You'd have to double check that with your own store. And it's still in beta as well. So
I've seen it on Australian sites. So
okay, that's good to know.
it must be, yeah. A lot of my like all the clients that I checked had it. So it must have rolled out in Australia at some point too.
Okay. So yeah, basically what it's showing is it shows the total citations from your site, and also the average cited pages. It's got here, it's the average of the number of unique pages cited per day during the selected period that you can select. So you can select 7 days, 30 days, and a 3 months. It also has a custom range here. And then you've got what traditionally with Google Search Console, you would have, you know, search queries. You could see what keywords are generating clicks and impressions. Here, instead, you've got a grounding query. So the overarching topic, I guess, and then how many times that grounding query has been cited, basically. So you've got a number there. So you can kind of, it gives you some data. It doesn't give you the specific exact prompts. It's not going to give you this long tail question that someone's typing in, but it will give you the overarching grounding query. And that's what they're calling it anyway, or keyword, to make things easier for people to understand.
I guess I guess what everyone's wanting to know, Charles, is how they're going to use this information to improve their site. Like, what are your early recommendations from the data that you're seeing?
Well, one of the other things it's showing is also it gives you what pages are being cited on your site as well, which is very valuable. So you can see, okay, what the first thing I'm looking at, I'm just looking at my client site here. I'm like, okay, so what pages are being cited the most? The top one here is a blog post. I'm going to have a look at that blog post and see how that blog is structured. Is that blog also ranking well on Google search? Because I can then apply the same SEO strategy as to Google search as I can to ranking on these AI tools. Yeah, that's the first thing I'll be doing, is reviewing the data of your site to see what are the best performing pages, and can you what are the correlations here? Why are they showing up and getting cited the most? Do they have a lot of backlinks pointed to them? Are they also ranking well on Google search? So we can apply the same SEO strategy as we can to AI search. These are a few things that I would be looking at. But I think more than anything, it just gives us some reporting to go on that's a little bit more accurate than what's been put out to date. Because before it was very much kind of manual searches, and we didn't have how that correlated to an impact on visibility for your exact site. A little bit of information to go on. I don't think that it's crazy amount of data, but like you said, if that can push Google to follow suit with their own AI tool, Gemini, then it just helps kind of give us the overarching data that we need to kind of build out a bit of a strategy.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think I'm just having a look at some of my clients now, and there's a lot of citations to products that I wouldn't even have considered. So it's interesting for me from that perspective too, because it's like, okay, if this is being cited so much, people must be searching for it. So maybe I should do some more work on like focusing on that product category a little more in Google Ads, for example. So there's there's some interesting data in here for sure. So I think if you haven't gone into the Bing Webmaster Tools and had a look, I would definitely recommend just going in there and having a look, and seeing exactly what you said, Charles, which pages are actually ranking on AI, and then trying to reverse engineer it, figure out why, and seeing if you can apply more of that into your other pages as well.
Yeah, I'm seeing from one of my clients here, I'm seeing a good balance between the homepage is showing, but also collection pages, blog posts, and some product pages as well. So that's good to see that it's not just kind of pulling through one page type. It's actually giving, or it's not just showing the homepage, it's showing a variety of pages. And also, like, the top performing blog being cited here, I know for a fact also performs well in Google search as well. So there's some correlation there between driving a good amount of traditional organic search traffic and also AI search visibility. Obviously, yeah, that's not a comprehensive study. That's me just looking at one data, one specific page here. But yeah, it seems to be that those pages that are being cited the most are also doing well in traditional search as well.
No, it is interesting. I would recommend people checking that out. So far, just to recap what we covered already. First thing, go have a look at your if you're running paid ads, go have a look at your CPC calculator and figure out if the traffic that you're buying is affordable, profitable, that you can scale on. Second action step from this chat is go have a look at Bing Webmaster Tools and have a look at what you're starting to, I guess, get cited for in AI. What pages are getting cited on your website, and what AI is recommending out there to an audience looking for your products. So I think that's two kind of really good things to even just start with to get the ball rolling. But I think the last one that I'd like to just briefly touch on tonight is just because this came up again in the calculator, the conversion rate. Like, people are like, oh, I always hear that my website needs to improve, but like, what is the gold standard of websites out there? And I thought it was a really interesting question because I have seen a lot of people list a lot of websites, and I'll have a look at them. I'm like, oh, not really for me, but I can see why it might do well. But I will say the website that I see in my own circles that's constantly referenced for, I guess, high converting elements and good conversion rate is a website called OBVI. It's spelled OBVI dot, I think it's .com. But it's a collagen supplement company, and I think a lot of the things that I look to implement or go to see, I check this site first, just because it's known to have extremely high conversion rate, large amount of sales, and I like the layout of the site, and I like how they do most things on there. So if you are looking for kind of a website to, actually, it's not
I think
ovi.com, it is get
is it
let me find it for you. I
MyLV?
don't want to butcher it for everyone.
Am I
Yeah,
right in thinking
MyLV, that's
it's
the one.
mylv.com? Yeah, I'm just having a look here.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry, I did butcher that. myovi.com. The brand name is called Ovi, but I don't know why, but they don't own the .com at the moment. I wouldn't say it's too far off them purchasing that for some obscene amount. But this, if you're looking for great conversion elements of a website, you can basically just screenshot the homepage and take all the elements and basically incorporate it into your own website. From everything, the product pages are really good. The collection pages are really good. The images that they use are really good. I don't have much negative to say about the website. Like, if I was putting together a website, I'd want this version of the website for whatever industry that I was in.
No, I like it.
Even looking at it now, it's got things that I want to implement for my own clients, like the subscribe and save, the kind of the variants that show on the product pages are just really graphically well done. They look clean. The add to cart page is really good too. So if you add something to cart, the slider on the side is fantastic. And it's got a recommended item, one that you use to complete your set, and so they've got the upsells in there. They've got the cross sells. They've got everything. So if you're looking for, if you don't know where to start for like conversion rate optimization, that's one of the sites that I would recommend that you have a look at least, and see if there's certain elements that you can add into your own website. I mean, you only have to look at one of the product pages to just see how far above what any other e-commerce store it is. But you'll notice it's slowly becoming more and more the norm because people are starting to model this now. This is like the gold standard, and I see it more and more. But yeah, if you're looking for something that has proven kind of high conversion rates, they do a lot of revenue. Um, definitely check out that site for some inspiration.
It looks really good. It's interesting actually that they've got these kind of long form product pages and they've kept their collection pages
Yeah,
a lot more minimalistic. One of the things actually I was speaking to a client about last week was the fact that like they have a lot on their collection pages, and I've kind of advised them about kind of stripping some of that back. So, for example, they had a long collection description. They had their product grid with the title above it, and then they just had things like go visit our blog and linking off to their YouTube channel. So they were almost guiding the customer potentially away from the sale. You're moving them further away from the sale, arguably, than towards it. And I said, based on what I'm looking at from an SEO perspective, which used to be let's put as much on the collection page as possible in order to rank it in terms of content. And actually, what I'm finding now is some of the best performing collection pages in terms of rankings are really quite minimalistic. It's a clean product grid, short description, and it doesn't really have that much information below it. Potentially, it might have some testimonials. So yeah, it's interesting to see here. Like I said, they've kept the collection pages uh, pretty succinct, and then the product pages are really more in depth to really try and sell the product.
yeah, I like it. I like it too. And when you think about it, like the collection pages will get a lot of traffic, but a collection page is there to drive the person in the right direction to a product page, basically. Because the
Exactly.
product
Yeah.
page is where they're going to go to add to cart. So, but I would like even the interesting thing on their collection pages is they've got purchasable products on their collection page. It's not just um like if you go to some of the collections that I'm looking at, you can actually purchase the products. Like they've just got the best products in there on their collection page. It's just
Yeah.
purchase straight off there or add to cart straight from there. Some collection pages you'll go to, they'll put you to another category. Um, but yeah, no, they've done it well. They've got everything there. They've got a quiz funnel. They've got like all the if you can think of all the top converting recommendations, like you're bound to find it somewhere on this site.
For sure. That's a
And it
really
looks like
nicely designed site.
if I look yeah, if I look down the bottom, it looks like it's designed by a company called Platter, Platter.com. So
Yeah.
I have no affiliation with Platter
Bit
whatsoever, but
bit of free
I might be
advertising for them there.
interested to just
Yeah.
yeah, I might be interested to just jump on. They've got a list of their clients here just to see what their other clients' websites look like. If they've built that, I'd be curious to see like what they've built for other people too. So because Ovi isn't even their like it's not even their highest up there in the testimonials. They've kind of sunk it down the bottom a little bit. So um but yeah, there's definitely something to check out. And I think it's something that a lot of business owners wonder about. They're like, I know I need to improve my website, but I've got no idea where to start. Um so I think if you are looking to start, I think place number one is model something that's already working and then have a look at the elements that they have on each page and have a look what elements you're missing that they have on your own site. So I would recommend that as basically a place to get started. And yeah, I think that's three core topics that we covered today. A bit of conversion rate, a bit of go check out the Microsoft Webmaster Tools and or Bing Webmaster Tools, and yeah, if you can, if you are running paid ads, go have a look at that cost per click calculator. It will be in the Facebook group at Shopify Marketing Secrets, and you can go check it out there and ask us any other questions that you have in there.
stuff. Yeah, and as always, you can find us. Shopify Marketing Secrets on Facebook. We're also on all the major podcast platforms. So check us out. Jimmy, any final
Yeah,
words
at
before we?
Ecommerce Marketing Chats.
That's the one. That's the one. Good stuff. All right.
No final words from me. I hope everyone has a great week in e-commerce. And yeah, honestly, Charles and I are just looking to help as many people and give as much as our knowledge away as possible. So feel free to join those communities. Feel free to message us on LinkedIn, whatever you need. If you've got a question and you want it answered or discussed on this platform, then yeah, shoot us a message. We're all ears. And until next week, we'll chat to you guys then.